When most people think about Teen Titans, they remember the jokes, the action, the villains, but one character always felt different. Raven rarely smiled, rarely got excited, and often seemed disconnected from everyone around her. As kids, she was mysterious. As adults, she feels surprisingly relatable. Because beneath the powers and the sarcasm and the calm exterior, Raven spent most of her life fighting something far bigger than any villain, herself. Stay until the end because we're breaking down why Raven became one of the most beloved characters in animation and why people still connect with her years later. Hello and welcome back to Retro Dive, where we revisit classic cartoons, nostalgic characters and the shows that shaped an entire generation. And today, we're diving into one of the most iconic characters from Teen Titans, Raven. From the very first episode, Raven felt completely different from the rest of the team. While Beast Boy joked around, Robin focused on leadership, and Starfire approached everything with excitement, Raven remained quiet, observant and emotionally distant. She wasn't trying to be popular, she wasn't trying to impress anyone, and that made her instantly memorable. Because in a world filled with loud personalities, Raven's silence stood out. What made Raven interesting wasn't her powers, it was what those powers represented. Raven constantly had to control her emotions, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. Anger, fear, frustration, even excitement. If she lost control, the consequences could be devastating. And that's what made her different from most cartoon characters. The battle wasn't happening around her, it was happening inside her. And as viewers got older, many people started seeing themselves in Raven, not because they had magical powers, but because they understood what it felt like to hide parts of themselves, to overthink, to keep emotions bottled up, to feel different from the people around them. Raven wasn't the loudest Titan, but for many fans, she was the most relatable. One reason Raven remains so popular today is because she helped shape a type of character that became incredibly common later. The quiet outsider, the emotionally guarded hero, the character who hides vulnerability behind sarcasm. And while Raven wasn't the first character to do this, she became one of the most recognizable examples for an entire generation of viewers. And even now, you can still see parts of Raven's influence in countless animated characters that followed. What makes Raven's story work so well is that she never faced those struggles completely alone. Over time, the Titans became more than teammates, they became her support system, and that's what gave many of her best moments emotional weight, because every time Raven opened up, even slightly, it felt earned. And years later, people still talk about Raven, not because she had the strongest powers, and not because she had the coolest design, and not because she always had the answers. People remember Raven because she felt human. Despite everything she could do, she struggled with things many viewers understood all too well. Self-doubt, isolation, and trying to keep control when life feels overwhelming. And the older you get, the easier it becomes to understand Raven, because her story was never really about magic, or demons, or superpowers. It was about balance, learning who you are, accepting the parts of yourself you can't change, and finding people who accept them too. So using the Retro Dive case file index, we have Intelligence 8, Power 10, Durability 7, Strategy 8, Emotional Stability 4, Danger Factor 9, giving her a final score of 7.7 out of 10, one of the most complex characters we've covered so far. Raven wasn't memorable because she was mysterious. She was memorable because behind all the mystery, she felt real. If you enjoyed this Retro Dive case file, subscribe for more nostalgic cartoon deep dives, character analysis, and Retro Dive case files. And let me know in the comments, which Teen Titans character should we revisit next? I'll see you in the next dive.